What does it mean when a crystal breaks? So it's important to state right up front that crystals can be delicate. They can be fragile, they can be brittle. Sometimes they just have a weak point. They can break if you butt it up against another crystal that has a different hardness, or they can break if you drop them. Shards and chips and breakage is part of crystal life. Like this crystal I purchased and it already was getting ready to break. There is no symbolic meaning in it. However, there is the possibility for a crystal to break or fracture because something is off with energy, either the energy of you or the energy of the stone. And that's what we really want to talk about today. What does it mean energetically when a crystal breaks? What should you be paying attention to? The first place I'll start is a crystal can break if it needs to be cleaned and cleared. Crystals can be crazy absorbent of your energy and the environment around them, and they need to be cleaned frequently. I talk about this a lot. Crystals such as hematite will break really easily if you don't clean them frequently. They absorb a lot of negativity. Crystals such as quartz can go a lot longer without being cleaned, but the energy tends to dull and not be as strong. It's highly unlikely a crystal like this would break for no reason, but if it went a really long time without being cleansed and it was in heavy use, it could happen. Keep in mind there's the idea that a crystal might break itself if it needs to release energy, or it's absorbing a lot of high intense frequencies, it can crack itself. There's also the case a crystal could break if you have a lot going on in your life and you need a sign. If you are in a treacherous situation and ignoring it, or perhaps doing something like dealing with a deceptive person, a crystal can break as a warning or an omen. But it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. A breaking crystal could be a sign of rebirth or transformation. It could be symbolic of an old part of you breaking free. Sometimes a crystal will break because you need two different pieces in two different locations, or you need to give a piece to a friend. Crystal told me you needed this. Sometimes your energy just doesn't jive with a specific stone. Like I had a friend who always would crack opals in half. Totally sucks. So basically there's a lot of reasons why a crystal can break, and it's really up to the user to try to discern what's going on in their life. You can also ask the crystal why it broke and it might tell you. And yes, you can repair a crystal once it breaks, and most of the time the energy is fine and the crystal just carries on as it was. I was always taught to use 5-minute epoxy, and it's always worked really well for me.